If you were told by a time traveler before the season began that Aaron Judge would start the 2023 season better than he started off the 2022 season, a season that was historic, that Garrett Cole would have his best season in a Yankees uniform so far, and that Domingo Germán, of all people, would throw a perfect game, you would probably have instantly downloaded whatever gambling betting site you prefer or went to Vegas and put all the odds on the New York Yankees to be the greatest team of all time. I mean, think about it. This team won 99 games the year prior, and a time traveler is telling you Judge will somehow top his start to last season, Garrett Cole will be at his best, and someone as random as Domingo Germán will do something more rare than a Discord mod having sex? This team's gonna win 130 games, and that's if they fall off at the end. The New York Yankees were already the easy pick to win the American League East in 2023. They won the division in 2022, brought back Aaron Judge, and added Carlos Rodon to their starting rotation, a starting rotation that was already strong. Yes, the other teams have their strengths as well, but it seemed unrealistic to think the Yankees wouldn't be the best in their division, and after losing to the Astros yet again in the ALCS, they had a chip on their shoulder. They were coming for blood. All the signs were pointing toward a great year for the Yankees, and so most people ran with that narrative.
This is a good team, maybe even a great team. For me, adding Rodon is immense. Of course, getting Aaron Judge back is the most important of all. And then when you consider the overall growth of their younger prospects, Peraza, Cabrera come to mind, Volpe potentially at some point in time.
They're the brand in the division. Who possesses the greatest chance to challenge the Yankees?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that they are, Bob, and I would say by a significant level.
I think the team that could stand in the way of the Yankees winning this division is the Yankees, because I agree with Flash. I think the Yankees are still the class of the division, so I still think the Yankees are the class, but I think the Yankees might have the best rotation in the majors.
Everything I said was true. Aaron Judge literally started off this season better than he did last season. Garrett Cole hasn't ever been better in a Yankees uniform, and Domingo Germán threw a freaking perfect game. But unfortunately for the Yankees and their fans, those are just three very small pieces of context to this puzzle. You provide more context, and spoiler alert, the Yankees have been anything but what we all assumed. Great. If you're part of the 70% of viewers not subscribed yet and enjoy the content, make sure to hit that button and join the wonderful subscribers of the channel, as the 2023 New York Yankees are an absolute disaster. Now, yeah, I know I may have a little bias in me according to a lot of you who have said such a thing. You know who you are, and that's fair. But at this point, if you're a Yankees fan watching this video, you should be nodding your head along and pumping your fist in anger at how much of a non-threat this team has become. And it really kind of started after Judge ran into a wall at Dodger Stadium. It happened on June 3rd. Remember that date, because since that incident, which actually tore a ligament in Judge's toe, the Yankees have been a bad team, playing to an under 500 record, and part of the reason, a big part of why they've been so bad, is because of their terrible offense. In their recent final game against the Angels this week, one which saw them lose and get swept, the Yankees trotted out a lineup that is hard to take very seriously. For some context before I get into these numbers, as far as OPS goes, for those who don't know, on base plus slugging, just think about it this way. Anything in the 600s or low 700s is bad. Hopefully that helps. Okay, here we go. Leading off, you have Oswald Peraza, who has an OPS in the 500s. That guy's leading off. Next up in the two-hole was Gleyber Torres with an OPS over 750, which for this current team is MVP level stuff because it only gets drastically worse. Giancarlo Stanton is getting paid $32 million, the most he's ever been paid, to hit under 200 with an OPS in the low 700s. That's your three-hole hitter. Your cleanup man? DJ LeMahieu with a sexy 230 batting average and an OPS around 650. Anthony Volpe, the prodigy, the next Derek Jeter, is hitting 200 with an OPS on par with LeMahieu's. Franchi Cordero, I don't have much of a clue how he's still on this roster, but he is, and he's hitting under 200 as well with an OPS in the 600s. Harrison Bader, Master Bader. I mean, if you just looked at the way Yankees fans talk about him, you'd think he was a reincarnated Mickey Mantle, but no, he's actually been just like every other Yankee not named Aaron Judge. Bad. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is just there at this point. Catcher Kyle Higashioka, who started in the final game against the Angels, is hitting in the low 200s with an OPS in the 600s, and hitting ninth was Oswaldo Cabrera and his 200 batting average and 580 OPS. Good thing for the Yankees, though, they have some other hitters who of course weren't in the lineup I just went through, but bad thing for the Yankees, they're not good either. The other catcher, Jose Trevino, is hitting about 200 with a 570 OPS, Oh, and Anthony Rizzo, another guy who re-signed with the team for this year, started off the season great. That is until he forgot how to hit. I mean, it's been dreadful for him. Through the first 55 games of the season, up through the game Judge injured his toe, Anthony Rizzo was hitting almost 300 with an OPS over 850 while connecting for 11 home runs. Okay, since then, Rizzo is hitting 158 with an OPS under 500 and has connected for 0 home runs. Josh Donaldson, I'm convinced he just doesn't exist anymore, but you know what? I'll give credit where credit is due. Aaron Hicks, someone the Yankees signed to a 7-year, $70 million contract a few years ago, he's doing great. He started off the year terrible, but he's been really good for several weeks now. Yeah, it's for Baltimore, but credit to the Yankees for giving him a change of scenery so he can thrive elsewhere. That's pretty much the only positive thing about the Yankees lineup I can say. Yeah, the Yankees are a total disaster right now. Domingo Germán did in fact throw a perfect game, but other than that, he hasn't been very good and he's been caught for cheating like 6 times. Nestor Cortez wasn't good to start off the season and hasn't pitched since May. Luis Severino is absolutely cooked. Oh, and Carlos Rodon, the new $162 million arm, well, he'd been hurt pretty much this entire time, finally made his return, has made 3 starts, and has an ERA over 7. He pitched in the last game against the Angels, did terrible, and is already starting beef with Yankees fans. But wait, you may be wondering how that's even possible, considering the game was out in Anaheim. Well, when walking back to the dugout after giving up 4 runs, Yankees fans who were at the game in Anaheim started to chirp Rodon, who responded by blowing a kiss up to them. So you suck and then mock the fans. That's a great way to kick off your Yankee career. There's not much to complain about for the bullpen, as they've mostly been pretty good, but in typical 2023 Yankees fashion, there is always something bad to be found, with one of their relievers, Jimmy Cordero, being suspended for domestic violence. Despite all these terrible numbers, there doesn't seem to be a more hated man in New York right now than Aaron Boone, the manager. Has he done a really bad job? To be honest with you, I don't completely know, and you're better off asking a Yankees fan that question. But when you have a lineup full of below-average hitters, your best player is out, and you haven't had a stable rotation, it's hard to put so much of the blame on Boone. Should he be fired? Maybe. Maybe it's time the Yankees start fresh. Boone's been there for a long time now. It's his 6th season as the manager, so perhaps a new voice is what the Yankees need. But I feel like they need a lot more than just a new voice. They did recently add a new voice, hiring former major leaguer and career 300 hitter Sean Casey to be their new hitting coach, and that's great. That seems to be a good move, but it's hard to see one man like that changing the entire Yankees lineup and making them better, at least in such a small amount of time. Something the Yankees are running out of. And I somehow got this far without even mentioning where the Yankees currently stand in their division, a division that was looked at as theirs to lose. They're in last place. They have the 2nd most expensive team in baseball, only under the other underperforming New York team, and are at the very bottom of their division. Obviously not acceptable for a franchise and fan base that expects a World Series caliber team every year. And like I said, they're running out of time. Could they still make a run at things? Of course, but that doesn't make it likely. At this point, Judge doesn't seem like he can fix this lineup that much. He'll obviously make it better, but when literally every other hitter on the offense is bad, there's not much you can do to fix it. This team just isn't good. It's been that way for a while now. Things don't seem to be changing, and it's becoming more and more ideal for the Yankees to tear this team apart. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.